Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's super close to my heart: how to learn English effectively. And trust me, I've got a game changer for you. We're going to be talking about why you need to shift your focus from individual words to phrases. You see, for years I struggled to become fluent in English. I would memorize tons of vocabulary, but when it came to actually speaking, I would freeze up. It felt like I was trying to assemble a puzzle without knowing what the picture was supposed to be. That's when I discovered the power of learning phrases. It completely transformed my English, and today I'm going to share all my secrets with you. So, if you are ready to unlock fluency and start speaking English more naturally, then keep watching. Learning a new language can feel like deciphering a secret code, but there's a way to crack that code faster. It all comes down to understanding context with phrases. Individual words are like puzzle pieces. Together, they form a phrase and reveal the full picture. Phrases provide the context to understand and use words correctly. Learning phrases helps you absorb grammar naturally. Focus on phrases in context and watch your understanding skyrocket. Have you ever noticed how native English speakers seem to effortlessly string words together, while learners often sound a bit, choppy? That's because native speakers don't think in individual words. They think in chunks of language, in phrases. When you learn English through phrases, you start to internalize the natural rhythm and flow of the language. You develop an intuition for how words work together, how they connect and create meaning. It's like learning to dance. In the beginning, you might focus on each individual step, counting them out carefully. But as you practice and learn to combine those steps into fluid movements, you start to develop a sense of grace and rhythm. The same goes for language. By mastering phrases, you're essentially learning the choreography of English, the way words move and groove together to create natural sounding speech. So, ditch the robotic word-by-word approach and embrace the beauty of phrases. Trust me, your English will thank you for it. Let's face it, one of the most rewarding parts of learning any language is being able to have conversations with others. But if you're constantly translating in your head, searching for the right words, conversations can quickly become a source of stress rather than enjoyment. This is where phrases come to the rescue again. When you have a repertoire of useful phrases at your disposal, you can respond to questions and express yourself more spontaneously and confidently. Think about it. When you're chatting with a friend, you don't have time to mentally construct grammatically perfect sentences. You need to be able to access the right words and phrases instantly. By learning common phrases, you're essentially equipping your brain with a toolbox of ready-to-use expressions for a variety of situations. This not only makes you a more fluent speaker, but also a more confident one. And as your confidence grows, you'll find yourself feeling more comfortable and at ease and speaking English, which in turn will help you make even more progress. So ditch the hesitation, embrace the power of phrases, and watch your conversational skills soar. We've all been there, spending hours cramming vocabulary lists only to forget most of it the next day. It's frustrating, right? Well, here's the good news. Learning phrases can actually improve your memory and help you retain new vocabulary more effectively. Our brains are wired to remember stories and connections. When you learn individual words, they often exist in isolation in your mind, making them harder to recall. But when you learn words within the context of a phrase, you're creating a story, a connection between those words. This makes the information more meaningful and memorable. Think of it like this. Imagine you see a random object, like a blue pen, lying on a table. You might notice it briefly, but you're unlikely to remember it later. Now, imagine that same blue pen is being used by a famous detective to solve a baffling mystery. Suddenly, the pen becomes part of a story, and you're far more likely to remember it. The same principle applies to language learning. Phrases provide the context and connections that make vocabulary stick in your mind. Learning a new language should be an exciting adventure, not a chore. But let's be honest, it can sometimes feel a bit tedious, especially when you're stuck memorizing endless grammar rules and vocabulary lists. But here's the secret. Learning with phrases can actually make the entire process more fun and engaging. When you shift your focus to phrases, you're not just learning the building blocks of language, you're discovering the music of English, the way words come together to create meaning and emotion. Suddenly, you're not just memorizing, you're exploring, experimenting, and playing with the language. You start to notice the nuances of phrases, the subtle ways they convey different meanings and feelings. And as you start to use these phrases in your own conversations, you'll experience a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction that goes far beyond simply knowing the definition of a word. So there you have it, my friends, the power of phrases. By incorporating phrases into your English learning routine, you'll not only improve your fluency and accuracy, but also make the entire learning process more enjoyable and rewarding. Remember, language is about communication, connection, and expression, and phrases are the key to unlocking all of that and more. Now, I want to hear from you. What are some of your favorite English phrases that you've mastered recently? Share them in the comments below, and let's inspire each other on our language learning journeys.